All right, it's that time again here in Oklahoma. Just a coincidence that I was about to start up my live feed here, my broadcast. Actually, my microphone isn't working. All right, here we go. Maybe it was a little silence there, I don't know, or the other microphone may have been working. They don't have like a VU meter on this particular app. It was a coincidence that the tornado sirens started up right as I was beginning to broadcast. But that's part of the discussion here. And that's psychic verification that what I'm about to say is true. But it also gives me some additional information. There's some tornadoes moving down in Tyler right now, or tornado watch moving in Tyler, should I say. But the people that are down in Tyler trying to mess my life up before I get there are tornado people. They bring your tornadoes to your community. That's what's going on in East Texas. So my assessment's already beginning. And that's a given that that's going to happen. The question is, what do the people of East Texas do when that evil of the deep state shadow government criminal enterprise enters their community? That's where God makes the judgment. Again, offenses will come. We know that offenses will come. Woe unto the stumbling blocks. My neighbor. But yet, guess what the next piece was? The sirens went on here, which means there's a connection between Tyler and here at this point. There's also, and of course it's a criminal enterprise that's moving what I'm speaking about. So therefore, that connection is moving to ruin my life in Tyler before I get there. But also, it's being engaged in here today. Now, of course, those tornado alert practices go on, or not practices, what would I call that? Drill. A drill goes on every Saturday at noon. However, I would not have been positioned where I was thinking the thoughts that I was thinking if it wasn't related. And that's obvious. See? So you can thank the deep state shadow government criminal enterprise for your hazardous weather down there in Smith County, Texas. God is not mocked. What you sow, you shall reap, and it looks like you're reaping the whirlwind. Oh well. I didn't sleep too well last night, but that's okay. I got things I gotta do. But I'm not the only one. A lot of people are rolling around trying to sleep. So again, when I leave here, I'll forgive all the debts to the people I lent money to that I was supposed to be paid back. But of course, I don't collect debts. I just lend money, and hopefully the good people can pay me back at some point or another. I don't want to get into that gnashing of teeth stuff and being smitten in hell. I mean, that's what that leads to, being a money lender that's overbearing. All right. So again, the good Lord was good to me. I saw all the Black Friday things and all the other things that I needed to get. eBay had 24-month payments if you purchase something over $600. And God said, you know, you don't need anything right now. You need to get out of here. The whole time. God said, no, no, even before I thought about leaving. God said, no, no purchase, no purchase. So now I'm at the point of my life as far as my monthly cycle of bills and payment that I'm doing well enough to. What happened was that thing they put on my credit report appeared just as I was going to get a credit card from my Capital One bank that I used to use, because I would have thought of getting a loan from them, an auto loan next. But it was a 0% card. So it kind of threw me off, because I like to have at least, you know, a decent availability of 0% money when I move. But, you know, I mean, I could pay off every cent I owe probably here shortly when I get paid, and then, you know, it doesn't really matter. But I just am that type of person where I like to have a good $7,000-8,000 in 0%. You know, with a good year or something till pay, will I have to pay, and that's not where I'm at. Although I have some, because I got a credit card, but it was a measly credit limit compared to what I usually get. I guess in some of these other banks. But I don't know if Capital One would have given me more than this other bank, but they surely would have given me the same thing, which added together would have been real nice. Last time when I moved, I had a particular card that I had had for about 5 months, and I had been making big payments on it and buying a lot of things. And when I got to the point of moving, I increased my my credit limit. And that made well for me. And I'll get there again. I just have to bear with the process. I'm hoping this car lasts, but you're probably going to see it on the back of a flatbed pretty soon. Still a kind of good-looking car, but good-looking doesn't get you down the road. People like scratch their head. Your car looks in great condition. Yeah, but, you know, when you got these multi-$1,000 repairs you got to engage in, it's not that good. I was hoping that it would last till the spring. I was thinking of putting it off till the spring, even if I stayed in the area here. Kind of wish I'd remembered, or not remembered, but thought about buying that vehicle. Had enough foresight to buy the vehicle in July. That was probably the best one yet. Or since also, and since. Just couldn't get to it. Wanted to pay my debt off, which really is a good place to be. I'm still not in a horrific place. When I get to Texas, I think I'm near a Walmart. I think it's even closer to the place I want to stay in Texas than it is where I live now. So that's going to work out well. So we see all of that activity I spoke about for years that the deep state was engaged in is occurring now in the life of President Trump and his associates. Again, the idea is you focus on the idea that somebody can be investigated. You know, I don't know if that frees Obama or Rice or anybody, but I stay consistent. I have to. I mean, you're supposed to also. So, again, the idea that they investigated President Trump is kind of a neutral idea. You can do it, but you have to have reason to get in, and when you see reason to get out, you have to get out. And I'm speaking back during the election. It appeared that there was reason, but I think that reason was, again, a psychological manipulation. So we see spycraft making a reason that doesn't exist to investigate President Trump. So everybody's like, oh, we got to investigate President Trump and his campaign because it appears like something. But early on, it was apparent that something that was seen was an illusion. And it appears that Strzok even had second doubts about the entire thing at a certain point. So that's when you work your way back out. You don't try to keep causing somebody to offend so you can actually say, you see? I mean, it's like with General Flynn and Carter Page. It's just a scam of trying to make something happen. And then blow may have happened out of proportion. I think it's about a 1955 or 56 Chevy sedan delivery, bright blue. Boy, it's windy here. This is what I can't understand, but I guess because there's no storms here. It's windier here than Tyler, Texas. But Tyler, Texas might have a storm that could bring a tornado. So if we didn't have clear skies, we'd be dealing with the same thing most likely. But I got to move. I can tell the cedar's like real low right now, but it lingers for a while. So most of your pollen, even though it's low on a given day as far as new pollen, the previous pollen takes a little while to move out of the community. So I'm sitting well financially as far as a move. I mean, not as well as I wanted to be or would want to be. My credit still isn't cleared yet. I'll probably give them a call and ask them if they could exit because, you know, it should have never been a real account anyway because it's not. I don't think they had my identifiers. Why would TransUnion just throw it out without thinking twice? Because they were missing some information. And as soon as I started speaking to them, each time they asked for different information. So I'm like, they're collecting my private information, and they didn't want my address. They not once asked me for my home address. Not once. Even when I said, you didn't send me anything, because, oh, we sent it to some address in Indiana. They never asked me for my home address. Because they kept putting in that address in Indiana. Whatever it may have been. Because it still may not have been mine, but it may have been. All they wanted was the extra information to make the account stick. Or it would have been off my account at the end of November. Like about a week ago. Maybe even sooner. Actually, no, it would have had to wait. Without the information, it would have been probably like right around today or yesterday. So it's the world we live. Well, I'm living that end times life, I'll tell you that. Many of you believe you are because LGBTQ people wanted to get married. I mean, come on. You're still living in the same house, or a better house. You're still married to your wife or your husband. You still go to church, and they don't psychologically operate you there at the behest of the government and their private sector cronies, whether they be liberal or conservative. And you all think you're in the end times, right? Oh, yes, tough end times life because two gay people got married in some state marriage. Church theater. Churchies theater, as I call them, the churchies. I don't want to call them Christians, say churchies. In some cases, it is the synagogue of Satan. Because when Jesus was here, he didn't say anything about the church. Did you know that? I don't know if y'all know that. Just thank me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Going through that study and the ideas, I could go and pull the Bible out, but a lot of you that listen that are Christian don't need me to. And those of you that aren't would probably be offended by the scripture because cheese have offended you with scripture. But I use it, of course, here and there. But the idea is that Paul said certain things and Jesus said other things. Paul was big about speaking about the church. Jesus wasn't. Not to say Paul was evil for speaking about the church, although he tried to direct it. He has a similar role as George Washington. George Washington said, political parties, they're going to